alongside that, the Yone also taken off the board as another priority mid lane pick.
Yeah, the question for me is stuff like the Ashe. If that gets through, Tomo hasn't played it, but still a very powerful pick coming through in
Let's
this.
not forget the Aurora as well. Last series showed up big, but is it going to be the same level of priority as Skarner is the final ban for 100 Thieves?
Is Skarner going to be taken off? So personally, I think Ashe, but
Ashe.
they're going to be the Ziggs ban. Okay, so I think this is kind of a call out saying, hey, look, are you going to go for it? The Ziggs was the most played by Tomo, but Ksante hovered.
Speaking of finals.
Because I know Sniper very heavily kind of relied on the Renekton and the Ksante over the course of his domestic play, so it could just be we want to get comfort for him in the matchup against Summit, but this is leaving a lot where Summit can look for those counter picks now if you do pick this first blind.
And I should clarify, of course, not finals, but 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. Sniper was huge on that Ksante, so it makes sense as the priority. As Brand is that you run back here for Oddie. Interesting. Already have a completely different meta, it feels like, from our last series.
Well, I was going to say, for Oddie, this has kind of been his go-to in the jungle. He has definitely loved the brand, but I thought we'd see a major shift away from that playstyle coming into the world stage, so I'm kind of surprised to see this, especially when, again, you kind of already got the Yone out of the question. So do we see Summit saying, hey, I just want to go for the Rumble in that top side? But no, I'm going to go for the Jax. So yeah, this was my biggest worry. Like, Jax quite strong in this patch, good into Ksante. So I think this is where R7, if you can try and lean in towards Summit, that could give you the win condition here.
There's champs like Powered by Omen and HyperX. You got to start thinking about what are the options now for the jungle response, right? We've seen the Jarvan already a few times before. For River, in his top 3 champion pool, he's in a really good state right now. And the core member of 100 Thieves, getting a Jarvan here is a nice little throwback, especially in the time when he was in PSG and in his earlier years.
Yeah. And there we go. I was going to say, what is going to be the follow-up? I think you do try and look towards Quid. And Quid has been an incredibly flexible player when you look at his draft. Back, obviously, in summer, we had a ton of the AD carry picks, but when you look back towards spring, was playing a ton of different champions, and we're going to get to see more of that coming in towards the play-ins, and I think that's such a valuable thing to have when it's such a volatile mid-lane meta at the moment. We're seeing a ton of different picks, but LeBlanc going to be taking the opposite side. A bit of a difficult matchup for the Hwei, but if you can get to that later portion of the game, Hwei provides so much of that long-range artillery for a Jarvan as he goes to the engage to lock up people and keep them in check. But actually, going to swap over the last second to the Tristana.
So again, no buffing support, as we a lot of the time saw Tristana, especially in the previous meta, with the Ivan in jungle. So again, it's standalone like we saw in the last series too, as we start rounding out for the second stage of bans.
Yeah, I think the adaptation from R7 to go towards the Tristana is nice, because I think the early value from Merc Threads, when you've got both a Brand and a LeBlanc in a matchup, makes things a little bit easier. So I think adding that AD damage was definitely necessary to just not make Oddie completely useless in this game. But there's the Ashe ban coming through that we're already talking about, and I am curious how they want to try and continue this forward, because I do think AD carry is the big point of contention now as we start to round out this draft.
Ezreal confirms that opinion, Dagda as well. 100 Thieves with the Ezreal gone, with the Ashe gone, the Ziggs as well, the Kai'Sa. So much already taken off the table. We start going into things like the Jinx as an option. The new Senna also taken away as well. Remember, she's more of an enchanter now. So what's it going to be? How do we set up bot here for Tseo and Lyonz when...
It might be just a Jhin ban. Just try and get rid of the last of those utility AD carries and then see if we can work our way right down the list. This is where we still saw things like the Misfortune starting to come through yesterday, but it didn't look as strong, but definitely something 100 Thieves can look to play with if they want to, and especially when you have that lockdown with the Jarvan, but maybe the Kalista ban instead.
Okay, we're just changing up completely.
Yeah, I think Tseo just Jin's here. I think you're totally fine. Like, you've just a Pyroclasm into a Deadly Version along those lines. I think you're in a fine spot, so...
Jhin engage support, right?
Yeah, and I think you're good. Potential that you end up going towards like Varus for Tomo on that bottom side or something along those lines, but I think just taking that away could work out well, but it's not going to be the case.
Alistar is up and available for Eyla. Has been the common counterpick into the Rell, and an option for him that would be easy. Nautilus also available here. Jhin, as you talked about before, would have been an easy takeaway because it would deny Tomo from getting that. But he's just going to have the option here to set up the bot lane and deny Tseo. Now Tseo, his pool is limited.
Yeah, so just going to go for the Leona. So Leona technically gets countered by Rell, but I don't think it's a terrible matchup. A lot of people opt into it, but are they going to flex?
You're thinking the Tristana, but I'm thinking
this would be sick.
It would be.
Come on, Tseo.
We hold.
Okay.
Right. So it's about bot. It's definitely about bot for Rainbow 7.
I mean, a huge amount of this is going to be trying to get control through mid, where Tristana should have the push, and then I want to see 3-man, 4-man dives immediately down towards this bottom side. Try and punish Tomo and Eyla, because Tomo's brought a lot to 100 Thieves. The fact that he's brought that stability that 100 Thieves really needed as soon as he came in, their win rate skyrocketed, even as you say, being able to take down Cloud9 in playoffs, but you're now under pressure. Sayo and Lyonz love to play aggressive. They love to have that pressure from Oddie. And if you can get this Draven rolling, that could be your win con here for R7.
And remember again, like on your point about the early game, Raz was telling me they look like the worst early game team before Tomo as well. Coming in, he changed everything. And for this team, they have higher expectations. They beat Cloud9 of all teams. And there's so much good to talk about this team when, again, they can be so explosive too and a joy to watch.
I think we might
100 Thieves versus Rainbow 7. And again, it's a miracle that 100 Thieves made it here for Rainbow 7. As I said, it's another day in the office. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually log into your Riot account on lolesports.com as we get into this game, and you can watch Worlds live and earn exclusive Worlds emotes, icons, and capsules. Bottom of your screen, read it and do it. Good job. Now, you tick that box, you get to the next one, and you watch the early game of 100 Thieves, as we already talked about, and Dagda with the Jarvan here. You know, again, trying to make the lane stable. I think we know that bot is going to have to be counter gank city here for 100 Thieves to keep that one stable, to use the word again.
Yeah, so the way I want to see R7 try and play this is Lyonz, as he gets to that bottom side, go for a crash down, use that range advantage of the Leona, just try and poke her out and use the shield effectively to just get control there, because if you ever try and contest, Sayo can always run in and you just get a ton of damage off very quickly, and as long as you get that push, it makes things significantly easier for you in controlling and dictating the pace of the game. There's the crash down, but I think this is where if you start to fall behind and you do end up losing the pace, a gank from River or you don't get a crash off effectively sets up for that Jarvan very well, and that's where it starts to get scary for the bottom.
I mean, again, all eyes, as we said, are down on that bottom side. Good trade here from Keine in the mid lane against Quid. As Quid on this way has to be careful for the all-in always, of course. Nice to see Hwei back in the mid lane as it's going exactly how you expect. Level 2 going to be hit first here by Sayo, who, again, has been on Rainbow 7 for a long time now. This guy, I mean, he has the star power, I think, as well, Dagda. It's just especially going back and watching them versus Infinity. What an impressive AD carry.
Yeah, and look, this is nice poke coming through from Tomo, but Lyonz is playing the lane somewhat effectively, where it's when you go for the crash down, you get increased range as the Rell, so you can actually just poke and prod Eyla and almost like kite back and make sure that Eyla's not able to hit you back. So in that position then, you're in a really strong spot to just continuously fight for bush control, push them out of the lane, and you're seeing them use that really well. But now River could go red into a potential bot side gang, so you need to try and crash this wave very quickly if you are R7.
Indeed, spotted on the ward here, as again, Sayo looks for that all-in. You can see on the bottom side, I mean, both these AD carries have got a lot to show for it. Stats aren't great, but again, he has a lot of star power, so that's what makes him exciting as an AD carry, and we already talked about how Tomo brings in a lot to 100 Thieves after coming in and replacing Meech earlier on.
Yeah, and then it kind of alleviated a lot of the pressure on Quid, because when you look back at 100 Thieves in the course of the year, a huge amount of it was relying on Quid to kind of be that big playmaker in the mid to late game to find that success for 100 Thieves, and we saw it like in playoffs as well. His Yone plays were absolutely sick, but just having that stableness has been great. But here we go, River, full clear. Does he try and get in onto the bottom side here? Good crash time for R7.
Do it.
I think they're fine.
Okay, they just look for deep wards instead. Sayo, another spinning axe. Clear that there's no vision here in the tri-bush as Oddie just moves into River, waits for the Scuttle Crab spawn. Instead, River uses this time to get back and get double longsword. Yeah,
I think you can see the nerfs, though, to the brand. Like, not being able to clear as quickly, he's matching the Jarvan clear speed through the jungle, and this is kind of, we started to see him fall off a little bit, or why you don't want as much of that brand in your game. But Jarvan now back on the map, should be able to take that top side, and maybe a little bit of focus for Sniper in that top lane as well.
Lyonz just thinking about an engage as top lane, we simmer back. I love that you highlighted the matchup earlier on, Dagda, as to why this Jax was a good pick. The B1 Ksante. Just when you thought he's disappeared, or at least not as prioritized, he appears here straight away for 100 Thieves. And the Sniper, I talked about his impact in the game, but again, has to get out of the lane of Summit. An old LCS top laner as he looks for the counter-strike, actually finds it, looks for the extra explosive charge, but he's done his damage. Look at where the lane is. Sniper needs help.
He needs help big time, and that's why I thought River would go.
Oh dear. Wait for it.
Ooh.
Where's the Counter-Strike timer?
He's okay. I think that's why I thought it'd be Crab into top, just to try and get control there because the lane was in such a bad state, but instead went for that vision control on the top side, and also I think snuck away camp as well, but it just means that now you're in a bit of a difficult spot here. You'll have to go for the reset here. Sniper, Wave is in a great spot for Summit. You'd need some way to break this.
Yep. You do indeed. Lyonz just getting rooted down to the bot side in the meanwhile. Teo gets to stand beside. The axes are there, but he cleanses through. Eyla actually committed to that. Now he's in a bit of trouble. To cash in this early would be big to roll the game forward as flashes burn in the meantime. Lyonz wanted to go in more, but Seo, he's run out of mana and he stops right there.
Yeah, sometimes you connect to Zenith Blade and you just regret life decisions.
Well, of course, to think about that one.
It was like, did you read?
Okay. Yo, Summit is in. That means we hold the fort. Yeah, and we get in as well. Okay, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. There was a peripheral issue. I believe it was with Summit from what I could see on our screen. That has now resolved itself. And the Jax and that wave state looks like it's slowly bouncing back, but top is going well, and I don't blame Summit for wanting to make sure that stays that way.
Yeah, River, gonna spot out that the camp was taken. Still though, it's a lot of control in this early stages with just the vision for River, right? We already saw that early ward going up into that top side, now getting similar control on the bot end. And I actually thought it'd be Oddie who'd be looking for some of these potential invades, but River's been doing a good job of controlling this.
Summit, as he batters back and forth, we just move away, but at least some good trades coming back from Sniper here, who is well over to level 6, but Summit, a couple of minions ahead as River now roams towards mid, looks for his impact, throws up, as you said, grubs have now spawned, and River is going a fast track right there.
I think they want to try and get the reset for Quid though, which is why River showed up in mid, because he's a little low on mana.
Why?
Yeah, I think Sniper trying to see if he could get out Summit's one as well, but this is a little risky for 100 Thieves. I think they want to look for the pick instead. Sniper did get at least some push on top.
You could hear I was worried, Dagda, because with no wall out here, Summit with no ult as well. Top laners are coming in, Bear, and maybe not all there as Summit looks for a whirling. Doesn't find it. In the end, grubs are taken to the power of 2, but Rainbow 7 want at least one to hit on in. Flag and drag away from that River with no ulti, but him disengaging is not good. The Seer gets a stack down and a cash in, but Seo, R7 on the board in a big way.
Yeah, 100 Thieves needed to stay together. When River EQ'd over the wall, you could kind of see R7 go, wait, he's not coming back. So we can go for this play. And now River hit 6 off the grubs though. Do they try and look for a little bit more? Still 3 members of R7 on this top side.
One grub is great. Seo going to get the push in as well. That stops all the wave discussions were there. Lyonz is almost caught out with the Zenith's Blade once again from Eyla, and the kill could not have gone to a better person. 1k gold lead for Seo starting off this game 1.
Yeah, and just off of 100 Thieves not grouping up to walk away.
True.
We hovered mid, and I was like, why have observers intensely focused? I thought we were going to see the Tristana go hard, but I think this is the best start you can look for R7, right? You're getting good, at least controlling your lanes. Your Draven is in a decent spot.
Yeah.
You're now in a position to try and step up and try and play around Oddie as well, like playing into this bottom side of the map as Dragon is up and available. And with that BT already very quickly working, that Bloodthirster very quickly around the corner. Seo could be the win con here.
Could be. I mean, let's not forget that Summit as well with his lane is going to have a pretty good time as well. And all things a chill like this for Rainbow 7, this game 1 could shock us out of our seats as push comes through once again. Much slower early game than what we experienced between GAM and SHG a little bit earlier. But 100 Thieves, they come back to lane. Curtain Call is now here, and you can see River's got some clearing to do, but that Dragon still sits up, waiting for a take-up. So Oddie thinks about it, but gets Scuttle instead.
Yeah, just taking Scuttle, gets to level 7. And now looking at this bottom side, Eyla.
Engage, Shattering Strike, crash down is there. Seo again looking for maybe another cash in, and Eyla won't get out of this one. Oddie helps out, and another cash in. 1,200 gold lead for Seo. R7 are taking this game to court.
Yeah, River was hovering in mid lane, but there was no real way you were going to get onto Keine there. The Tristana is so difficult to keep in check. Keine still gets to push the wave, and now this is going to be Dragon as well for R7. Great start for the LLA squad.
Yeah, 100 Thieves caught a little bit unawares. 1,500 cold lead in total, and with his first Dragon, and the fact that R7 can still match and get 4 grubs. What a great entrance for them coming into Worlds. Dagda, I like it as well, because again, with all that attention down bot side, as River now goes for an invade, Top keeps pushing in. River's spotted by Keine going into enemy jungle.
I don't know what you can really achieve here. Yeah, Oddie just kind of kites the camp away.
No camps
There's
there.
the jump away from Keine, yeah. I think it's just trying to put pressure onto the bottom side. Like, River needs to start making plays because he's going to start to fall behind when it comes to CS, but oh, Lyonz, don't do us.
He'll get flag and dragged, and there's good damage here already for the Jarvan with the Tunneler in hand as the Zenith Blade follows through. Oddie is nowhere nearby. Cataclysm crash down, gets him out. The flash Q is not enough, but the smite! One more auto. River just needs it. The flag does it as Keine now looks to zone him out, but this could turn into bad. The flag actually not taken. A little bit out of range, it seems. The rocket jump gets Keine out of dodge.
You could see R7 knew that 100 Thieves were trying to make some sort of play there. Lyonz was waiting for so long, but ends up stepping up and gets caught. Now 100 Thieves should be able to get some good damage onto this mid lane turret and get Quid some needed gold on this way.
And after that one play as well, I mean, gold over to River, he steals away camps. As you said, the plate gets taken away as Keine used his teleport to get back to lane over to the inner turret so he didn't get dove. But Dagda, 100 Thieves quell some of that early game blood that went down over to the Draven and stabilized the game a little bit.
I think we're going to have a lot more blood as the Void Grubs are about to come up. BT for the Draven as well. But you see here, right, River gets spotted. So they know that River is somewhere in here. I think they just assumed, hey, look, he's definitely backed away. Because look how long River stays in this area. But Lyonz just doesn't respect it. Ends up walking forward. I thought maybe he could get away, but looks for the stun onto River, which only CCs himself long enough for Eyla to get into position. And then River just about able to get the kill with that reduced movement speed on the Rell.
Almost getting away, but in the end, a kill over to River. He's starting to build up an individual lead as well. He's got himself his first item. Dagda, I see a Sundered Sky, and I see a grub fight brewing.
Still though, Sayo very, very strong at this point in time, so if they can set him up well, they're in position, but that's a TP.
I see a curtain call, I see 100 Thieves converging on them all. Sayo will take the spiraling death while Oddie dies in the backside. That brand about to be kaput as Sayo has to flash away because Sniper has him under his thumb. He ulties, he buffers too, and 100 Thieves know exactly what to do.
Summit was late to the party, and R7, they're scrambling to get a front to back. That just cannot happen. 100 Thieves get the fight, and they'll get these grubs as well.
I look at it, Dagda, and I see R7. They're trying to get out here and do grubs at the same time, moving parts.
Yeah, and look, Sniper able to come in on the back line, so Sayo doesn't really have the front line he needs to keep himself safe. Quid getting a ton of damage onto Keine as well, using that long range of the Hwei. And a nice ultimate from Sniper to yoink lines back in, give himself an escape route as well. And you see frustration there on Oddie's face.
And this is what Sniper's great at. This is what he was great at, especially against Cloud9 on this Ksante. His ability to section off fights, and I think just his overall skill as a team fighter is what is a really great point about this. Let's call him 17 again. As Cully comes through, or rather, the encirclement of death takes some of his stacks with him. And Sayo drops on down.
And this is why River was praised for his creativity. Just waiting in the bush, waiting for Sayo to step up, knows that the Draven cannot get away. And now Oddie wants to try and make something happen on the bottom side with Sniper. Our Iceborne Gauntlet completed. It's not going to be easy to try and look for a dive here. No. R7 still hovering though.
I mean, 3 people are here. As you said, it's going to be quite difficult. That is a very, very tanky Sniper, and as Summit is running low on mana, Eyla's here to cover.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Eyla does a reasonably good job of trying to keep his laners in check, just where he needs to be on the map. And as River is taking away the entirety of Oddie's topside jungle as well, it's not looking very pretty for R7, despite the fact it started off so well.
I mean, for 100 Thieves, it's just how they operate, isn't it? Even though it was a bit of a shaky start, even though R7 got kills over to Sayo, they've stabilized really, really well, and River is starting to take control of this game like he was so good at doing, especially on things like the Maokai, the Sejuani, I remember over the split. You know, on this Jarvan that is in his top 3 champ pool, by the way. Just unironically, it's the perfect meta for River. And seeing him getting to play something like this as well to set his team up, I know it's going to be good news.
Yeah, I think for R7, you just need to find some way to disrupt this, but it's really difficult. The only real frontline you have is Lyonz, but it's him trying to provide frontline for like River engage over Eyla with the range you have on Quid and Tomo. It just makes it so hard to find these fights. You really need to try and look for a quick pick, but the fact they're here in Ripchild first, makes things a little bit easier. But it looks like 100 Thieves are just kind of happy to trade on top side. But Summit did get boss, so this is still a favorable trade for R7.
It really is. I mean, again, Summit with no TP. Sniper can't match it either, but they need the eye. They need the eye, and Lyonz is like, I'm going to die if I get the eye. There's a solar flare that locks him down, so he'll die for it in the end. But spiraling despair as 100 Thieves look to chase even more members. Rainbow 7 came into this willingly as a claw to lock through, but Sayo gets out alive. So the support deaths for the eye, at the end of the day, for R7, including that turret, you take it.
Yeah, I think he'll just get the Dragon trade coming through for 100 Thieves now. But Lyonz is back on the map. You have a reset that could come through, but you're still in a position here as R7 if you really want to try and contest. Oddie, very low on mana, is the only thing you'd be worried about, but you can see the MasterCard lane economy snapshot kind of tells the story of a lot of this game. Like, Summit has been doing a good job of getting a gold lead for himself, but he just has not been able to bring that to these fights, and I think that's where R7 are really struggling.
As River's spotted on a ward, you can see that individual jungle lead is actually piling up a little bit. And yeah, you're right, you know, Summit's impact has only been in the lane, nothing more so far. His TP is going to be burned down for 100 Thieves. It's Quid. Just coming and clearing this wave. Looks like the next option, Dagda, is going to be this Dragon, which is Chemtech to make number 2 if R7 want to start competing for it.
Yeah, I thought we were going... So, I was looking at where Lyonz was on the map. I thought we might get a TP from Summit onto the top side to just immediately look for the cross map on this, but I think they're just a little bit late, so it looks like 100 Thieves should be able to finish this Dragon and still get back out to protect most of their lanes. Because, again, I don't think you have enough damage as Keine with just the... with just his first item to actually get through Sniper.
Hang on. Fear comes through. There's a solar flare. This is turning into a dive. Summit can't move. The flag and drag is flashed away from him. Even with the Tarbies, he manages to get unstunned quick enough. River is now cataclysming down, and he's not going to get away from that one. Quid with a double fear. 100 Thieves make the dive look complete.
And Sniper just abandons topside. He knows they've got Rift Herald, but if you're trading equal on Rift Herald, you have to know.
Oddie look for a kill under the thumb. Oddie has to flash away. 3 members now converge. Sniper has done his job, but Herald got the charge, opened up top turret. But you can see for that bot turret trade, including the kill for 100 Thieves, a little bit more gold in the value of their trade.
And it's the fact that the Rift Herald had to be used as well, right, to try and match. So for 100 Thieves, you're very happy that the fact that you're managing to trade even on that one. And now you get to move back in towards the mid lane. Say you're going to look for a reset, but Tomo's already gone for his. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a case of push out R7 on this top side and very quickly look to congregate on this mid lane turret as you start to get the push from Tomo.
And when we're talking about some of these trades, we, you know, watching gold fluctuate. I mean, what is happening in this game is that after Sayo found an early gold lead, you know, nothing much has happened. No more cash-ins, right, to accelerate this lead even further. But Quid is 3-0. Quid almost 2 items here on this Hwei. And when you think about the range that can come through, the spiraling despair, how it integrates with things like the Cataclysm and the setup from Sniper, 100 Thieves are a very reliable member on a very reliable pick for this game 1.
It's also how reliable they've been in catching wave states.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the CS lead, it's apart from topside, I mean, yeah, it's just super good. They've been consistently finding ways to catch these waves, deny R7 the opportunities, because R7 are trying to focus on an objective. And 100 Thieves go, no, we will catch the wave, then meet you with the objective. And sure, R7 have managed to get a dragon, but when I look at Grubs, it's gone in favor of 100 Thieves. So 100 Thieves are managing to do more with their time by just playing smarter off their wave states.
I guess the Quid success, by the way, hasn't been in vain. If anyone hasn't heard, his solo queue, he was on like a 48 win rate. It's something absurd, right? There's always one person going into Worlds that goes absolutely bonkers. And I think Quid was that person as well, who had a lot of success. So as we see, yeah, gold difference over time. Thank you, AWS. That is a story. It's definitely a story. The turrets help in that brilliance. And again, only person ahead is Summit here in this game as River's doing it again. He just won't get out of Oddie's jungle.
No, just not giving them a chance. It's not often that you see a Jarvan getting the better value out of the invades than the brand, but definitely working in favor of River right now. And it's just, again, getting these like deep wards that can try and help out. Also just a really sneaky TP ward just in at the back of the Draven there as well. So you have to be a little careful if Sniper is ever going to be able to TP in, or you try and overextend to commit to that mid lane tower. There is always a world where 100 Thieves can just show up behind you.
I love how Dagda, that's a small circle.
Yeah.
That's quite large, isn't it?
Yeah, see, I'm supposed to find the button that...
Is there a big circle?
That is supposed to... Oh, there it is. No, we got this one that then brings it up, and then it looks a little bit smaller.
Then it's a small circle. Yeah, okay. All right. the more you know. We also have, there's a lot to work with here, it's great.
Yeah, some of the icons have changed, which threw me a little bit, so it took me a minute, but may not take a minute for River to find
I'm not allowed to touch this object, by the way, because there is a button titled confetti, and I have been told I am not allowed near it.
I think we just know what you're like.
Will it be used in the middle of a team-fight? We'll find out. 100 Thieves at least gearing up for one as they try and siege mid once again. Sayo, he's only on 1 and a bit items, and I'm looking at this Draven because he's got a lot to cash in here. I'm looking at almost 200 stacks here of the Adoration as 100 Thieves. They're also gearing up for maybe some pressure around this Baron while you're not expecting it to be taken. Early vision there as Tomo doing some good damage here, even with the 2-item cheaper spike that he has now with the rapid fire cannon.
Yeah, and I like the way we're seeing 100 Thieves try and play this out, which is consistently pushing sides and then grouping on towards mid. Because you can already look like there's no pressure on top side, right? Keine needs to get control there, so they just use that numbers advantage with Quid to get the mid lane turret. Now they start to move up, they can re-establish vision in the enemy jungle again. In theory, moving to the bottom side, but with Dragon in 40 seconds, I think they might have spent their turn, though, getting the top side in their favor and getting that mid lane turret, so it may be R7 with position the map to just rush down Dragon.
It may be 25 seconds till it spawns at the very least, as Keine is going to match his topside wave. I'm looking at TP's Dagda. I see them all up and available. I feel like this could be the setup for the 5v5. The individual cloud stats as well for both these teams add so much value. And I'm just looking at those item spikes, see if Quid can get his second as we fast approach here as well. I'm looking to see if Summit can roll on in with the potential of a Hysterics gauge here on this Jax as well. There's a lot of items that are potentially there, but we might not be hitting it as TP start us off.
Yeah, and again, you've got these like deep wards coming in on the back of the
whereabouts?
Behind.
Okay.
R7, which are for sniper, if he can get in position. But R7 giving up a lot of space here.
He's here, and someone's going to stun him up, but unstoppable for the time being. He zones him off, and R7 are forced slightly off the Dragon. As Dragon resets, it's River who now in the middle of the pit looks for an angle. Sniper again playing patient as he forces someone to jump on with the counter-strike, now out and about. But you see, Quid's range is a real problem for Rainbow 7, and at a 2.5k, the full engage has to commit, but Lyonz, as he jumps on in only under one target, he doesn't get the dream. He's now stuck in the back of Sniper is doing the rest. The young prodigy running in gets blown up in the end. I don't get to sell his story any longer, but now I can focus on Tomo. A deadly flourish flashed away from Quid in the mid. Now running through for Sayo, and this Draven who started out promising is outranged again and outspoken as 100 Thieves find their first big fight of the game.
You called it perfectly, Hysterics. The range on Quid, the poke from Tomo. R7 needed to pull the trigger quicker, but they'd already given up so much because Lyonz was trying to keep this pressure on this top side from Eyla. He then has to flash over into the pit, but it's just too late.
Yeah.
He needed to be the one to pull the trigger, but 100 Thieves never gave him that pressure, never gave him that opportunity. And even when he does, he has to go so far forward that 100 Thieves are just happy to accept that, and nobody can really follow up. Sayo did a good chunk of damage though onto Sniper and even getting the kill onto River, but he just doesn't have enough in the back pocket to take on 3 members of 100 Thieves.
I mean, again, we'll look back because he got 2 kills earlier on. I've said it so many times, your ears are about to bleed, but for Rainbow 7, there's been no snowball in this game. It's been quite a slow one as well, and he didn't get the cash in from that last one, in fact. So down to 122 stacks because the kill looks like it went over to Keine instead. Damage from the Hwei. Yep. That champion is, you know, he's annoying when he gets himself an early lead like he did. And he's got a comp Dagda, as we talked about, the range being massive. Walking into that is a disaster.
But it's also, you've got these like non-committal setups for the Hwei, right? Like a deadly flourish that can just be like, cool, I get my QW on top of someone. Eyla with that ultimate setting up for as well, where you have this CC that can get that extra chunk of damage from Hwei. So there's so many easy ways for Quid to find value in these fights, and he's just making the most of it.
And with Storm Surge now, as Solar Flare starts us off, it looks like 100 Thieves want to pummel Rainbow 7 to the ground. It's a good engage, but there's no damage onto Eyla. He's taking it all as someone now finally comes in. Oddie is so lucky to be alive, but a flag and drag from River says thank you very much. Up against the wall, Summit and Sniper a cheeky little kiss as the kill goes down, and it's 100 Thieves still finding themselves some more gold.
And they're just going to continue to keep the pressure up. There's little that R7 can do. It's only a nearly 4k gold lead, but it feels so much worse for R7 right now. They're stuck in their base. They can't find their windows to a fight. And honestly, I'm surprised that 100 Thieves didn't turn straight towards the Baron there. I think they have so much they can do. It's not the quickest a Baron take team, so I can't understand it. At least the Leandry's Stormer will help out a little bit. But if R7 step forward like that once more, it's going to be lights out for them.
And I think this kind of shows like what we saw against Infinity as well. So Rainbow 7, you know, kind of just waiting for that perfect engage, perfect fight. But 100 Thieves starting to get more and more proactive here in this game, and it's showing again, caught unawares, and it's players like River as well, who in this game, with his individual lead, with now Spear as Shojin, River hasn't been super explosive, but he's been the linchpin again. 10 out of 10 kill participation, much like we've seen in the regular season, where this team seems to revolve around the experienced member in 100 Thieves in the jungle.
But especially when we saw R7 get these early leads, it was him hiding in a bush to get the pick.
Yep.
Him then going topside to focus Seo again. Like, he has been crucial to this turnaround play. R7, though, starting to move in towards River. Spot out Eyla. But where? In the darkness is the Jarvan.
In the darkness, as you said, there's only River. As he sits in his namesake for the time being, the puddle looks to advance. Sniper slows down Lyonz, and he's got nowhere to go either. River, you sneaky devil, sets up for now this Baron to start.
I don't think that's fair. River was in the jungle and not in River.
True.
If he's going to do that, he should call himself
How
jungle.
would they know?
Exactly. It's not there. And it's complete
And here comes the pause.
Complete disaster for R7, but really, really well set up by River. And great from the observers to highlight it. Like, the wraparound, making sure there was no way that R7 could spot him out. Complete lack of vision. Quid is getting that damage at long range that we're talking about. And Tomo is just completely free hitting. It's that simple setup that does so much work for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves such a role-playing team. He's not typing enough for my liking, but it's only early days. As I was saying, Dagda, 100 Thieves is such a role-playing team, right? Everyone has their job to do, and each and every game it feels like it's more of the same, right? River, this engage tool, this linchpin for the team that's always kind of stabilizing. Sniper as well, especially on this Ksante. You know, he's got a role to play. Okay, set us up. Quid, Tomo, consistent damage sources that we've seen multiple games in a row. I mean, again, they're just doing the same thing I feel like they did. I keep using Cloud9's example. I use domestically as well in some of their success in the early game.
But I think that's also the issue that we're seeing from R7 is that they are trying to do too much what they did domestically.
True.
Like the brand, the Tristana mid, these aren't things that I think really slot into the meta fully. Yes, you've seen a little bit more Tristana, but I think you do need to shift away from these and try and bring yourself into the new era of what Worlds Play-in's meta has to be. And I want to see like Oddie having a bit more of an impact. This is the guy that so many people have their eyes on, but I don't feel like the problem's him. It's brand isn't workable in this meta. I want to see him move back over to something that he can have a little bit more impact and actually fight River an awful lot of the time.
Wondering if R7 were going to stick around. You know, Oddie, if you talk about some of those impacts, I remember things like the Poppy as well, you know, the Vibe, it's up and available, which a lot of the time it won't be. How do they feel about Maokai, Sejuani? Maybe something that can apply a lot more. And comparing these junglers, you know, this is domestically, by the way, as well. You know, Oddie, again, we already talked him up. Like, this guy is the massive face, if not the biggest face in the LLA.
Yeah, and he has been crucial to the success.
Whoa, okay.
But Keine going to be able to get away from that. But yeah, Oddie has just been such a crucial part of not only this team, but this region. And it feels like the success of R7 relies on him to have a good early game, but unfortunately just can't.
There's Storm Surge, and there's Leandry's burn. Seo half HP, Leon's flushed for that because Lyonz wanted to go on in. Eyla at least they've caught out, but the flank is also seen out. Wait, R7 getting innovative, and it's working. Sniper teleported in. He's now got no one left to deal the damage. He's in the middle. 100 Thieves walked up and they thought they owned mid, but the Rainbow 7 are still rolling with thunder.
But you need to find an objective. It will be the dragon that they move over towards, but this feels like it's just only the first step. They are still so far behind, but great play from R7 to find that overextension from 100 Thieves. And look at the Red Bull Baron power play.
Oh.
That's a negative one.
And now look at Quid. Quid's caught out, and this is a shutdown. Dagda, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I'm sure the LLA wasn't either.
Yeah, but Rome wasn't torn down in a day either, but R7, they are doing work and doing just that right now. The objective bounty is going to help out massively. Still,
Gold's almost even.
Yeah. is still a little bit there for 100 Thieves, but this is great. Like, Sayo gets chunked, River starts to move away, but disengaged from Lyonz. Tomo gets to step away from it, but the follow-up is there. The TP from Summit is perfect. R7, like, this was a really well-coordinated play to catch 100 Thieves with their pants down.
The positioning ends up to be so impactful as well. Sniper came in late and Sniper's team was already dead. So now, hands in the air, it becomes a bit like cinema, because Baron's up in 2 minutes 30. For 100 Thieves, they can't do anything more with it. Someone is looking for more. This Jax is 3 items, and he has a lot of cooldown. And Dagda, I'm worried because this Jax in side lane's now a very real threat that I'm wondering who can stand up to him.
And someone had some choice words for the LCS when he left as well, so I think he has a bit of a bone to pick here coming into this.
Yeah.
Now with 3 items, as you say, like over a 2,000 gold lead against his counterpart Sniper, this could be the man that you want to try and put a lot of that weight on towards, but it's still going to be very, very hard. He's hit level 16, no teleport available. You don't really have enough control on the map for R7 to let someone truly play it through a side lane, so he does need to try and get into these fights. But where do you find them? Like a minute and a half, sure, until Baron, but I still think with the...
Hello. Flag and drag, good little buffer there in the end. The range trying to be used. Eyla's committing as well. Solar Flare in range, and now finally River finds him. So Keine, after everything good for R7, is caught out. There are no objectives up. That's the only bonus here for R7 after that pick.
Yeah, it will get more control over mid and top, though, 400 Thieves.
That's
and
true.
Just make it more difficult. One thing I will say is no one reset to actually deal with Summit in this bot side, so that tower is dead.
La, la, la.
I did think it would be, you know, a little bit of a quicker turnaround there from 100 Thieves, so at least you're still getting something. And I guess if R7, honestly, if you just keep all these towers in position, you actually surprisingly come out on top despite Keine dying.
True.
Because the local gold for Summit.
I mean, inner turrets give so much gold. So you're exactly right. Actually, it's probably better. You can die any day of the week and Summit will take that. And as I said, you know...
You walked right into my trap.
That's right. Reveal my card. Almost 4 items on this Jax. 3K is alone on top. Now, there's a gold lead everywhere else, yes. But Summit right now is managing most of the whole lead from 100 Thieves other 4 roles.
So if I'm R7,
summertime.
I'm looking at Lyonz and saying, you are a secret agent right now.
Okay.
You have to infiltrate 100 Thieves jungle and get a ward for Summit. Because if you can try and get some way for him to parachute in with a TP, this is going to go wonderfully for R7. Because Summit can just completely decimate Quid and Tomo, because so much of 100 Thieves go forward. But that's where you can see River trying to hit that strong point.
Well, we got a split screen because there's a lot happening. Oddie's actually caught out. Jungler's going to go golden, but as he comes out of this, he's surely dead. He flashes away, he gets a sear onto Sniper, but as he matches, Jungle's going to be dead, and Baron's coming up. Oddie getting caught out here hurts a lot as he pops his ulti, but Sniper reaches the range. 100 Thieves start the Baron post-haste.
But you do have an opportunity for someone to try and TP in behind them if they want to, but I think you're just too far away. 100 Thieves, you guys try to take this, but this is what we're talking about. It's a slow Baron, and Sniper's caught.
Sniper's dead, Sniper's dead. It's a 4v4, and as you said, there's no jungle available. Baron's not going down fast enough, Dagda.
They don't have a quick take. It's only Quid that can really deal damage. Lyonz is in the area. It will be taken. I think R7, they needed to run immediately. 100 Thieves, they make the heist.
I guess they thought, nah, it's already gone. We've lost it anyway, but now he's the engaged. Lyonz knows he can. On to River, says damage is big. Summit walks in the face of 3 people. The old NA top laner won't be impactful because Lyonz is already dead. Sayo can't do too much as River still standing like an Elton John single as he looks for the stun. Counter-Strike is flashed away from. He flashes too. He needs Kaine's help, Dagda, as Sayo runs for his life. Tomo found his mark, and R7, it looked good, it looked bad, then it looked good again, then it looked bad, and Dagda, now I don't know how it looks.
It looks mad. It looks all over the place. Keine was pushing in mid as they go for the fight. Sayo and Summit are trying desperately to pull R7 back into this, but no one is following through on what the game plan is, and somehow 100 Thieves managed to bring that one back.
I thought Summit's going to jump into 3 people, and then suddenly Lyonz is dead. I don't know how Oddie died. But then again, I don't know how he got there anyway. So for R7 on their defense, they're facing Baron. It's once again 100 Thieves with a big gold lead. Summit's looking for an angle. But Dagda, his TP might be up. but how's the flank looking this time?
You want to try and fight before Quid gets there. Quid is so much of the damage on 100 Thieves, but R7 just aren't in position. Seo has only just respawned, and now the waves are knocking on the door of R7 again.
Jhin. Why is Jhin so loud in my ear? It's kind of just the symbolicness of this game. Sniper's jumped on by Keine. Summit looks for an angle too, but again, the trap from Jhin stops him in past Soulflare on the back end. They're still sieging here. TP from Sniper's going to get him into action, and Summit now looks for an angle himself. He jumps onto Tomo while the inhibitor's bare broken, but Summit's turned by Sniper in return. 100 Thieves are like, okay, Summit, you're isolated. Keine flashes away as well, and this is just turning into chaos again. The base is a free treadmill. Keep walking, get your 10,000 steps, because the 100 Thieves are doing exercise to get to the Nexus turrets stacked up.
And they go in. They manage to get the knock-up.
Oh, they do indeed. Lyonz goes in for the engagement. Hang on a minute. Summit is still alive. He gets the Hysterics gauge. The shield is there. He's got a counter-strike again. He's trying his heart out, but it's not enough. A double quickly turns in its head. And 100 Thieves have the numbers, but not the health bars to end the game.
If Seo was alive, they might have had a chance.
Maybe.
But Seo died, and I don't even think 100 Thieves are on the screen. They just get sniped from so far away by Quid. And 100 Thieves win out on the 4 versus 5. It was bloody. It was hard fought. But they still managed to come out on top.
I did not know the LLA standard for lovely, lovely action. That's what we've seen over and over. It's a 29 kill game. Yeah, it wasn't bloodiest at the start, but Dagda did warn us it was going to turn into that as River starts Dragon. This will lead to Soul Point for 100 Thieves, and we still got one more in us.
I mean, 100 Thieves, it has been fought hard by R7, but they have certainly been in control this entire time. And R7, it's kind of like they need to try and find something. My heart goes out to them. They are doing everything they can to try and find ways to push back 100 Thieves, find some opportunity. But look at the items that Quid has. This man is huge. He is almost full build. And there is very little that R7 can really do when he's just raining down damage from the sky.
I mean, again, it's been fun to watch, but R7, their options with Summit, I thought they'd be a lot better as Manhold 2 control wards, 4 items. I think also we're just kind of watching for those final transactions to come through as everyone's getting towards those full builds that will hopefully make a difference in the upcoming fight.
Yeah, there's also like, again, just to point out where wards are for R7, this one down here that they could potentially look to go for if they want to like just look to run down towards the base. I wasn't sure if Keine was going to stick around on the push, but doesn't look like it. And R7 will set up again at the base of TP behind for someone.
Oh, we're doing it again. Round number 3, 4, 5. I don't know which one it is, but Summit says, let's go. A G onto Tomo means that he has to think of his options. His counter-strike is now down, and Tomo hits him. Deadly Flash also connects as well. They're turning this time. They're not letting him get away with murder. The old LCS top laner is irrelevant. Sniper flashes on, takes him downtown, and 100 Thieves will not fall for the same trap again.
Summit really thought he could steal a glance at the 100 Thieves backline and get away with it, but he was getting nothing. R7, they weren't ready. There was no follow-up. Lyonz, his flash just wasn't quite up in time. And it means that 100 Thieves, they get the pick, and now they continue the siege. It's River pushing in mid. And the damage again that can come from Quid and Tomo as you defend these turrets is against
R7's there, but interrupted Lyonz tried for the miracle play, but Sniper's in the way as Quid now still gets the zone and play as River's in with the Cataclysm. He flashes out, it ain't clean. It ain't even League of Legends sometimes as River gets on out, the whirling dead catches him in. 100 Thieves can't end the game.
R7, they're still holding on. They refuse to go down.
On the door.
And even in the 4 versus 5. But can they hold the tower? Can't they? Just about. I mean, the next wave may be enough to take that one down. They lose a Nexus turret, but they're still in it.
You gotta give it to R7. What a pain they're making it for 100 Thieves, and at this point, I'm not even sure that 100 Thieves actually have this game.
But at this point, the gold doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's full builds being hit. Even like the Tristana is now full build, and that's what we're really seeing. 100 Thieves, yes, great stop on this engage, but the fact that you end up with One, Eyla going underneath the tower to Seo, gets nothing. River now goes over the wall, has to flash away. They get to reset up, and now Sniper's found.
Let's fight again. Lyonz won't get a stun this time, though. He crashes down. Is he too far forward? Eyla says no, because he doesn't pull the trigger, and they have a much quicker Baron. Let's go! Flip the game! All right, Solar Flare starts us off. 100 Thieves don't have their jungler, though. Wait, Dagda, you're a genius! No jungler here, but they find the fight and they find Lyonz in the mitigation process. 100 Thieves walking towards the Baron. They just want to take it, though. R7, they want to win the game, but for Baron, they might lose it all. Someone's going to go down. The Baron over to Oddie, but no one's alive to take it. The classic Baron for Nexus is happening in game 1.
They needed to turn. The call was good, but the 4 versus 5 is what they really wanted. But again, Lyonz goes in, no one follows, and 100 Thieves, they get the game win.
What a way to end. I mean, look, NA is cinema this year, and it looks like the Americas will be too. Game 1 to 100 Thieves, but they had to go far for that one. Woo! Oh my God.
I don't even know what to say.
2 more.
I don't even know what to say.
We're eating good tonight.
Look.
That was a mess,
It was
but
still,
I love it.
there was still a lot of control for 100 Thieves throughout that game, but it was not an easy, clean win at the end of it. There was way too many over-aggressions.
Well, as I said, 2 more of that, so let's hope as we go to a short break and return right after this.